This is the essential Edgewater. The quickest way I can sum up my experience is this. I step in after a long day, press a single button, and it keeps the water hot while the jets work hard, all from a normal household outlet. That simple reliability is why I keep using it night after night. The essential Edgewater is a plug-and-play hot tub that fits patios, decks, and smaller backyards without a big electrical project. It is best for anyone who wants the real spa experience, but needs an easy setup and predictable upkeep. If you are a couple who will use it often, a family that wants a reliable soak in the evenings, or someone who hosts a few friends now and then, this size and layout make a lot of sense. I have used mine for over a year, through summer heat and winter chill, and it has become part of my routine rather than a novelty. The design hits a nice balance between footprint and comfort. It is shaped to seat 5 to 6, but I find 4 adults is the sweet spot. 6 is possible, though shoulders touch, and you spend more time coordinating where knees go than actually relaxing. The shell curves support the lower back better than most compact spas I have tried. My unit is the lounger version, and the lounger is where I spend most of my time when I want a full body massage. If loungers do not work for your height, the 2 captain-style seats in the corners give a strong back and shoulder massage without pushing you forward. The footwell is deep enough to let your legs relax without floating, and there is enough room for everyone to anchor their feet against the jet pressure. Small touches make daily use easier. The insulated tapered cover has locking clips that seal well. I can keep heat in overnight even when the air is cold, and I do not worry about wind flipping the cover. The shell and cabinet feel solid when you lean into them to get out. The jets are stainless steel faced, and they still look clean after many months. There is an ice bucket built into the lip, and I laughed at it when I first saw it, but it is surprisingly handy. I drop in a bag of ice and bottles of water or sparkling water, and it keeps everything cold so I do not have to run back inside. Setup was refreshingly simple. I placed it on a level pad, gave it a quick rinse, connected the hose, and let it fill. The whole physical setup took me around 30 minutes, then about 2 hours to fill with water. The control panel is straightforward. I set the temperature, set the lighting to a soft hue, and that was it. The plug-and-play part matters. It runs on a standard 120-volt 15-amp outlet with a ground fault circuit interrupter cord included. I did not need an electrician, and I did not need to upgrade my panel. I just made sure that outlet was dedicated, plugged it in, and I was soaking the same day. Once it is running, the overall experience feels thought through. The jets are adjustable. I can twist them to throttle flow, and there is a clear difference between a calm soak and a massage setting. The pump has 2 levels that I toggle with a single button, and that change is instant. The best part is the heater. It is a stainless steel unit from Balboa, and it has been stable and predictable. The heater keeps working while the water is moving, so the temperature does not nosedive when you turn the massage on. That is a big deal with plug-and-play tubs. With some other models I tried, the water would cool down fast, and I would be done in 10 minutes. Here, my sessions stretch to 30 or 40 minutes without the temperature creeping down, even in colder weather. Heating times are reasonable for a standard outlet spa. From a fresh fill, it takes patience to reach a hot soaking temperature, but after that first day, it is mostly about maintaining the heat. I usually leave it in economy mode during the week and bump it up an hour before I plan to use it. In winter, when the air sits just above freezing, it still gets there. The insulation and the cover make a difference. Steam stays under the lid, and I do not feel like I am wasting energy between sessions. Massage performance is where the seating layout matters. The lounger hits calves, hamstrings, and lower back at once, and it is great after a workout or a long run. If you have broad shoulders or you are very tall, you may float a little in the lounger. I am average height, and I only need to brace lightly with my heels to stay put on the highest jet setting. The corner captain seats focus more on the mid and upper back. The jets do not poke, and they do not whirl in a dizzying way. They feel firm and steady. Switching to the gentler setting gives a quiet soak that I like when I am listening to music or just zoning out. I have put it through a lot of real use. After yard work days, I crank the stronger setting for 10 minutes, then drop to the lower setting to unwind. On cool evenings, I lift the cover and get a burst of warm air back at my face, which is always a good sign that the heat is staying in. On the hottest weeks of summer, I dial the temperature down, leave the cover off for a bit, and it becomes a cool soak that takes the edge off without feeling like a bath. During the winter holidays, we had 4 adults in there for a long chat. It was comfortable for all of us. When we tried 6 during a barbecue, we could make it work, but elbows were friendly. That is why I keep saying 4 is the realistic comfort number. There are a few little quirks. On the highest jet setting, the pump noise is noticeable. Not loud enough to drown out conversation, but not whisper quiet either. If you prefer the lightest ambience, you will probably use the lower setting most of the time, which is much quieter. The cover is on the heavier side, which is good for insulation, but can be a small workout if you do not have a cover lifter accessory. The lounger is fantastic for me, but a friend who is taller kept floating up and preferred the captain seats. That is not a flaw, just a reminder that body shape matters more than spec sheets. Maintenance has been straightforward. I check chemicals a few times a week and clean the filter on a schedule. The shell wipes clean, and the stainless steel jet faces do not show buildup if I keep up with water balance. Draining and refilling is easy enough because the drain is accessible, although it takes time to fully empty, like any hot tub. I have not had leaks, and I have not had a single error code on the panel. There are no weird rattles or cabinet flecks. After a year, the pump still feels strong, and the heater is as consistent as day one. My favorite use case is very simple. I finish dinner, grab a cold drink from the ice bucket, sink into the lounger, and set the jets to the lower setting while a playlist runs in the background. The water stays at temperature. My shoulders drop. 10 minutes in, I bump the jets up for a targeted burst on the lower back, then drop them down again. It is the kind of routine that makes me use it more often because there is no fiddling and no babysitting to keep the heat. There are smart touches that genuinely help. The ice bucket means I am not stepping out with wet feet to fetch something. The ground fault circuit interrupter cord gave me peace of mind from day one. The insulated cover with locking clips keeps kids and pets safe when I am not around and keeps debris out. The ability to heat while circulating lets me linger. The adjustable stainless steel jets give me the massage I want without feeling gimmicky. None of these sound flashy, but together they remove friction, and that is why I end up using it several times a week. I would not call this a party tub, and I would not recommend it to someone who wants a brutally strong deep tissue massage that feels like a therapist pressing into each muscle group. It is a balanced, everyday relaxation tub that prioritizes consistent heat, dependable hardware, and user-friendly controls. If you have space for a compact spa, need to use a standard outlet, and value an easy setup with a proven heater, the essential Edgewater fits that brief very well. If you regularly host big groups, or you want the absolute most powerful jet array with complex lighting and waterfalls, you may want a larger, hard-wired model. After living with it for over a year, I trust it. It has survived a freezing snap, a summer heat wave, backyard dust, and a few rowdy soak sessions with friends. It has not asked much from me beyond basic care. The water stays hot. The controls are simple. The seating works for different moods and different bodies. It feels like a real spa, not a temporary substitute, and I think that is the whole point. I will leave all the information about the essential Edgewater in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.